What's up, everybody? This is Mersenneary for headsupsingo.com, and we're going to continue playing Nobody, a player that I think does a lot of really cool things in unbalancing his ranges in order to get maximum value and exploit people. So we'll continue talking about that, and we'll also talk about the correct adjustments against this type of player. So we raise with Queen 10, which I again think is absolutely necessary against a player who isn't 3-betting super wide, isn't 3-bet jamming super wide. Need to continue to raise these hands. Actually, this is an uncharacteristic check back if you chose to do that, but I think it may actually be correct here. The reason why I say that is because we don't get a ton of value from betting if our opponent isn't going to check raise very wide, and I actually don't expect Nobody to be check raising very wide here at all. So because of that, there aren't like a ton of cards that can come on the turn that make us have the worst hand, and we're not going to get 3 streets of value versus 10x anyway. So we can check here, perhaps get some turn like bluffs from weaker hands, and maybe do a little bit better, but we c-bet and pick up the pot. Ace-Jack, obviously snapping off, and still 3-bet jamming over any 3-bet. Somewhat close decision whether to c-bet this flop or not. I think they're about the same in expectation. So you saw this in the last video, but I cheekily kind of like this very small bet on the turn that gets value from just weakest draws and occasionally some just high card hands, while also like getting us control of the river street a little bit more. I think it actually has pretty good expectation, not against anyone who will start picking up on that and really start bluffing a lot, but against this type of player, absolutely. In an aggressive dynamic, we have one of the very best hands that we can have here, other than 9-8 and a very strong like combo draw. So because of that, you can consider check raising here for value and get value from a lot of 9x, 8x, and draws they're going to jam in over your check raise. But not against this opponent who's not raising pre-wide enough. And we'll just check call, the more standard play. Kind of an annoying turn card, not because it makes our range any worse, but actually, or like our hand any worse against his range, but actually because it makes our range better. It makes a river bluff here a lot less frequent from us because we probably have a pair. So if we probably have a pair, then we're not going to be bluffing very often, and so we can't really lead this river and expect to get a ton of calls. But at the same time, if we just check, I'm not sure how often we're really going to get bluffs and bluff catch. So I think betting is slightly better because he has more just 9x and 8x and 7x that we want to make sure to get value out of, given that it's hard for us to have an ace, and maybe he'll like not think too much about the fact that we don't have many bluffs in our range. But I think if you have a 7 in Nobody's position, you want to be folding it. I think you want to be folding some 8s as well, just because I don't have much of a bluff range there.